Yo, what's going on? It's your boy B Fresh. You're now tuned into FreshTalkz. I have a legend in the building. I've seen many documentaries of yours. Like, views are super crazy on YouTube. I have Freeway, RickRoss, man. What's going on, man? I really appreciate this, man. It's good meeting you.
Come on, man. You know how I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, you're originally from Texas.
That's right.
Right.
So we homies.
Like, right. Like from Tyler or?
Tyler, Texas.
Tyler, Texas,
yeah,
man. That's
yeah.
what's up.
A little town called Kilgore. Right outside of Tyler. But, you know, everybody say Kilgore and Tyler's the same.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
man, that's crazy. So, how old was you when you like made that transition to?
I was like 3.
You were 3 years old?
Yeah. I vaguely remember, you know, the trip.
Right.
You know, Mom's caught the bus, you know. She had a bag of fried chicken.
Right.
And we was off, man, to a new horizon. Mom was trying to find something different.
Right.
You know, back then, Texas was really racist back then.
Really? I mean, I bet.
That time. I saw black and white bathrooms here in Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I bet that was scary. Like, just going through that situation.
But you know, I was
age.
A kid, you know what I'm saying? I was only about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of understood, but I really didn't understand, you know, why this waiting room was for whites and this one was for blacks.
Right.
But I understood that the white waiting room was fly, and the black waiting room, nobody had cleaned it. It was cigarette butts everywhere, spit on the walls, and wasn't a place that I wanted to be.
Right.
Let's say that.
So your people just had enough. Like, man, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Moms was trying to find a better situation. You know, she had some brothers and sisters that had already moved to California.
Okay.
And so she felt that it would give us a better opportunity there.
So what was your upbringing like? You know, as a child, just as far as coming up.
I mean, LA? You know, I was cool. I grew up in South Central. You know, I was there. You know, when we moved there, there wasn't no gangs. You know, at least I didn't see them. I didn't see the gangs until I was around 12 years old.
Right.
When I first started recognizing that it was gangs. But you know, the hood was cool. I mean, even when I knew that it was gangs, to me, it was still like cool. Like, this is normal, you know,
Right.
We supposed to have gangs, you know, brothers supposed to get killed over $1. And, you know, I thought that all that was normal.
Man, it was, so like, what's that, like early 80s, like was the crime rate, it was just crazy around that time?
Well, we talking about the 60s.
Oh, the 60s.
Yeah, we talking about the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
So it gradually got worse and worse and worse as it went. The 80s is when the drugs really started.
Right.
That's when I had my run during the 80s, you know. We wreaked havoc on the city.
Like major.
Yeah. We didn't know no better.
Right. So you was 19 when you started your empire, right?
Yeah, 19.
Okay. So what was that transition like, just in the beginning stages of it?
Well, you know, I was hoping to be a tennis star.
Right.
You know, it was not my plan to be a drug dealer. I thought I was going to be the next Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
But
and
I couldn't.
Arthur Ashe, right?
I met Arthur Ashe,
okay.
But I couldn't read or write.
Right. Man.
So it was no way that I was going to be going to college, and my mom didn't have the money to put me on the circuit. My mom was on welfare. We was on welfare. So it was no way that I was going to be going on the circuit.
Right.
So I was kind of like stuck, you know, like, damn, what I'm going to do with my life? Not going to college. Can't get a job because I can't fill out the application.
Right.
You know, what's my options?
Right.
So I found myself turning to the streets, and it started off stealing cars, and it went from stealing cars to selling cocaine.
Right. Man, so you started like, you know, just slanging just nickels or 25, you know what I'm saying?
We started selling, like, back then they didn't really sell no nickels.
Right, it was straight.
Yeah, it was like
wholesale or something like that.
Cocaine was so expensive back then. You know, a gram of cocaine back then was probably like $300.
Damn.
Excuse me, yeah. And you're talking about an ounce. The first ounce I ever bought, I paid $3,200 for it. So you're talking about really, really expensive. I saw the price dipping though, you know.
Right.
Some people say I dipped the price. I'm the one made the price go down,
Right.
which was my goal.
Right, because you was plugged in with some guys out of
I
Florida.
eventually got plugged in, from Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, yeah,
They
okay.
they lived in Florida, but they was really from Nicaragua.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I wanted the price to go down because I wanted it to be affordable where everybody could afford it.
Right.
I was tripping, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, young, it was probably coming in too fast.
Yeah, but just to have the mindset of wanting everybody to be able to enjoy, and in my opinion at that time, it was to enjoy cocaine.
Right.
How do you make it affordable? How do you take it from $300 a gram where nobody can afford it to making it where even the people that was on welfare could afford it?
Right.
And that was my goal, and that eventually happened.
But do you feel like you took any losses, like, starting out selling?
Of course I took losses.
Right. Just to get your clientele.
Hundreds of losses. Hundreds of $1,000s of losses. So, yeah, it's no way that you're going to be in the game and you don't lose. You never know who it is. One day a person can be great and then the next day they turn sour. So,
Just couldn't really
losses go with the game.
Right. So, okay, so speaking on it, like, what is freebase? Like, was that better than that by itself, other than baking soda being mixed with it?
That's all freebase was mixing cocaine with baking soda and water and sticking some heat to it. And,
like on some foil or something like that. That's what it was? Like
no, you put it in the water. You could smoke it. They smoked it out of pipe. They didn't smoke out of foil back then, That was some new stuff. Smoking out of foil and what's that? The card things, the straight shooters. They didn't do it back then.
They were like, "Ooh, Ricky, I need some more."
It was more about having nice pipes and at this time, most of the people at Freebase had money.
Yeah.
There was no poor freebasers. The word freebase come from?
Where did it come from?
The word freebase mean basing without money. You a freebaser.
Right.
So only time you come around is so you can base and don't have no money. So you want to smoke my stuff up. And so they would call you a freebaser. Man, you a freebaser.
Man,
so
that's very bad.
Just for all y'all who didn't know, that's where the word freebaser came from.
Right.
You were basing with no money.
That's crazy. Man. So how you feel making your first million? You wasn't really like the flashy type of guy. Like, what was your big purpose? Like, when you got your first million?
Well, when I started in the game, I wanted to make $5,000.
Right.
That was my goal.
The goal, 5 bands.
It was 5 bands, I had a small goal. Something about money, though. Money has a sense of opening your horizon, opening your mind up. After I made my first 5, I said, well, I might as well make 20. That 5 came so fast.
Right.
And then after I made the first 20, it was 100, and it just went to the $1 million. Having $1 million at that time was like unbelievable.
Were you making it a day?
I did eventually, but it didn't start off that way.
It didn't start off
No. It started off slow. Almost like any other business, as I became more knowledgeable about the business, the money became more easier to come by.
Like, what was your big purchase? Did you like cars? Like, did you buy anything?
My first big purchase was a motel. Yeah,
okay.
I built a motel. Cars, I didn't really get, turn out on the cars.
Right.
Because I learned a valuable lesson when I used to low ride too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, low riding is really what got me into the dope game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, low riding is what got me into the dope game. I had a '66 Chevy convertible that I was fixing up, and the first time I go to the street races, my guys take me to the street races, and then I see these cars, these pretty cars with these little wheels on them, and they shining, and they got these bad women with them.
Ooh.
And then I said, oh,
trash.
I want me one of those. And I was talking about the whole package.
The whole package.
The car, the girl, the wheels, I want the whole thing.
Man, I bet them women was everywhere around that time.
Man, they was
that
nice.
Money coming in. Man, that's crazy. So I was watching Drink Champs, shout out Noriega, you know what I'm saying? So
shout out to Nori.
Yes, sir. I fuck with Drink Champs, man. That was a dope interview.
Yeah, Nori was cool.
So you spoke on watching your big homies, and you noticed they made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So how you learn from not making those mistakes?
Well, you know, I found out that you can either do the thing yourself and make the mistake, or you can look at somebody else's mistake and learn from their mistakes.
Right.
And I found it better to learn from others' mistakes than to go and make the same mistake that they made.
Exactly.
So I just took lessons from that and tried not to do the same thing that they did that didn't work.
Right, right. You spoke on the drug supplier. What's his name?
Danilo Blandon.
Blandon. Yeah. When did you find out he was an informant?
Wow. When I went to jail.
Oh, okay. You found that.
He set me up. Yeah. And I still didn't know totally that he was the one set me up, but I had a great idea that he had been the one. And after Gary Webb came and started talking to me and told me that he was definitely the one that had set me up.
Right, man. How was your reaction to that? That's like a relationship you had,
man,
making those type of deals.
I was hurt at first. It was almost like a brother, you know, had betrayed you, or uncle or father had betrayed you. Bitter, wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You took me from my kids. You took me from my life. I was hot.
Damn, man. You said that, man. I was like, what? That's
I was hot. And the fact that I wasn't selling drugs no more, you know, I'd already quit.
Okay.
You know? So for him to set me up after I was out the game, you know, and I don't know, I just felt it was some loyalty there.
Right.
And it was none. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all I'm gonna do is use you, and when I can't use you no more, I'm gonna get rid of you. Man,
that's crazy. So what's this book right here? This is the last one you made before this new one.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody called the Ghetto Bible.
Yeah.
That's my first book, Freeway, RickRoss, Untold Autobiography. I wrote this book while I was in jail. When I was in jail, the young guys used to always come up and ask me for information, you know, about the drug game, how I was able to make $3 million a day. How'd you take $125 and turn this type of profit? And I was telling them, and then something would say like, man, you can't just tell everybody.
Right.
You got to do something so you can reach the mass.
Right.
And I was reading the newspaper one day, and Tookie was in there about getting nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
And they was talking about his book. And so I was like, wow, if Tookie wrote a book for gangbanging, then I should write a book on the drug industry.
Exactly,
and that's how that book came about.
Man, you was going through a lot, so it was like you had kind of like charges in different states.
Different states, yeah.
Right.
I had one in Tyler. I pled guilty in Tyler, went to jail, everything.
Right.
That was the case.
That
was the case, so I shouldn't have had that case. That was a bullshit case.
Right.
My cousins had got indicted down there, and I used to sell them dope, but I wasn't selling them dope no more. You know, I quit.
Right.
So my cousin had called me and was asking me about, I think it was 50 keys or something, and then I was like, no, I ain't got them.
Yeah.
They still indicted me, and the prosecutor was like, oh, well, I think you're gonna beat the case, but go to trial. They gave my cousins 44 years.
Damn.
So he was telling me basically, go to trial. If you win, you're gonna get set free, but if you lose, you're gonna get 44 years. So I wound up taking a deal on that case, and they ran it concurrent with my other federal case. So technically, I didn't have to do no more time than I was already doing. So I wound up taking that deal.
Yeah, I got you. So back in the day, you know, it wasn't no social media. With you being, you know, big at that time, do you feel like you would have got caught up like easier with camera phones and everything like that, like faster?
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't have made it with camera phones.
Right.
One of my advantages in the game was nobody knew what I looked like, except the people in the game.
Exactly.
And that's the way it should be. You know, if they're not in your business, they shouldn't know your business.
Exactly.
So if they would have had these cameras, I would have been in jail.
It's crazy, man. So it's crazy how everything, you know, everything was going good for you with no record, because you didn't have no charges on you when you was back in the day. So police really didn't know who RickRoss was. Like, did they make you nervous?
About them not knowing me? Nah.
Because you was reading yourself, like you said, like your gardener came and told you first.
Yeah, he told me the first time that they mentioned my house in the newspaper. Yeah, he had told me first.
They made you just move different?
I moved out the house.
Instantly.
I didn't go back over there no more.
That's crazy.
But you know, I had my own task force too.
Yeah.
You know, we had the Freeway task force where they had went around and got the most elite cops from all of these different stations and put them together and called them the Freeway task force.
Yeah, it was like some top guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how long did they run?
I don't know. They went some years, man.
Before they kind of caught up with you?
Yeah, they eventually broke them up, you know, for stealing money, planting drugs, civil rights violations. You know, they would beat people up while they was handcuffed. Right. So they eventually got indicted for that.
Right. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy, man. So when you wanted to be a Crip bad, like what made you want to be affiliated?
Well, you know, if you're a young kid and you're growing up in the inner city,
right,
and there's really no camaraderie, I think that's the correct word, you know, like a group of people that comes together with a single cause, you want to be a part of something like that.
Right.
And
being exposed at that age.
When I saw the Crips with their togetherness and hanging out, drinking beer, play wrestling, play fighting, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Right. So just growing up, feeling that way, like how you feel about like the Bloods, like did you have any like interactions, like
yeah, I knew
like
the Bloods.
I
knew the Bloods too. I knew the guys who started the Bloods. You know, I knew Terry Cardo, I knew Terry Carter, the one who Suge killed.
Yeah.
I knew him personally, and I knew Putin personally as well. And those are the three founders of the Bloods.
Right.
So I knew all of them personally.
Right.
Well, Terry Cardo, he didn't know me, but I knew him. Just like Tookie, I knew Tookie, but Tookie didn't know me. You know, I was still, you know, I was young.
Yeah.
So,
man, like, you know, during that time when your name was big in the streets, like, did you meet any celebrities?
Yeah, I knew a few celebrities. You know, I paid for Anita Baker's first album.
Really?
Yeah. I paid for her first album.
How y'all meet each other?
Through a mutual friend, Otis Smith, who was the founder of Beverly Glen Music. I've been knowing him since my childhood, and he came to me and said that he needed some money to finance this artist who turned out to be Anita Baker.
So she was probably just underground at the time?
No, she used to sing with Chapter 8.
Oh, okay.
And they had kicked her out the group.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't like her style.
And she came to be one of the biggest artists. It's crazy, man. So continuing criminal spree, like how did you get free from that?
Continuous criminal spree. You just said it.
Oh,
well,
okay.
What a continuous criminal spree means is that somebody continuously commits crime.
Right.
Uninterrupted.
Right.
That's a continuous criminal spree.
But they was trying to give you
3 strikes.
Right.
But in order for it to be a 3 strikes, it has to be intervening arrest.
Right.
Intervening means interrupted.
So this one you was going state to state.
Right. That's a continuous criminal spree.
Right.
Uninterrupted.
I'm saying like you were saying like they was trying to give you the 3 strike like charge, right? Like trying to give you like
they gave me the 3 strikes.
Right. Off 1 charge. That's fucked up.
Well, the way they did it was not right, because a continuous criminal spree, I mean, is that you keep going. It don't matter if you go to multiple states. Now, intervening arrest means that you commit a crime, you go to jail, you get out. That's 1 strike.
Right.
You do the same thing again and get out of jail. That's 2. You do it again.
It's a wrap.
You get out. That's 3 strikes. They can give you life sentence without the possibility of parole. You're done.
Yeah.
In my case, that wasn't the case.
Right.
My criminal spree was continuous and uninterrupted.
Right. Okay. So how did prison change you as a man upon release? going in, only knowing the streets and everything?
Well, I don't know if it really necessarily changed me. I came out smarter than I went in. You know, when I went in, I'd never read a book.
Right.
When I came out, I read over 300 business books, and I also have read books in the library that I still mess with today.
Right. So that's what made you like become an entrepreneur, just coming out.
Well, I've been an entrepreneur, man.
I mean, of course. Like,
when I sold dope,
I
I had motel, tire and wheel shop, junkyard. I had numerous businesses even then.
Okay. So you thinking, 2020, you think anybody can copy that blueprint that you had?
They can, but they got to put the dedication and the determination into it.
Right.
You have to be committed. And that's with anything that you do. If you want to be successful in business, you have to be committed.
Right.
You can't just come one day and say, I'm the king, you ain't putting no work in.
Right, nah, you're not out the bed.
No.
Yeah. Man, so I want to take you to this artist, man, RickRoss, man. He came onto the scene, in 06. I was like 16 at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't aware of you at that age, you know what I'm saying? So, like, how did you feel when you got the news about this guy running with your name?
Well, I was a little disappointed, that the guy didn't reach out and contact me.
Yeah.
Also, I was flattered.
Right. Yeah,
a grown man name himself after you, that would only mean one or two things. That he loves you so much.
Right.
He has so much love and aspiration for you that he named himself after you.
Right.
The other one was that he saw a name that was already seasoned.
Right.
That he could just jump in and ride off the wave.
Yeah. So you felt like it was more on a disrespect side that he didn't probably like acknowledge you?
Not just acknowledge me, but just admit.
Right.
Admit that this is what happened. This is what took place. Everybody knows it now anyway, just about. That's few people who don't really understand that I'm the real RickRoss. But it is what it is.
Right.
I ain't tripping.
Right.
I'm finna have billions.
Nah, cool.
we ain't gonna be wasting no time with no billionaire. No millionaires. We finna have billions.
Finna have billions.
Yeah, we finna have billions. My new goal is to become the marijuana king. I want to be the king of marijuana in this country.
So give me more information about that. So you about to start like?
Well, I have a license.
Right.
I won a marijuana license about 2 months ago.
Man, that's what's up.
So I'm waiting right now to open up my dispensary. You'll be able to come in California. When you come out, you can come to my dispensary and get high.
Yeah.
I'm also working on my own brand.
Okay.
Of marijuana products. Like vape pens, flour, different strings of flour.
Yeah, y'all names for them, or you just gonna?
I don't have the names yet, man. Yeah. We still in the early stages.
Right.
We just cut the deal. We just cut a deal with a major grower the contract ain't even done yet. We just verbally come to terms. I want this amount of points. I want that amount of points.
Nah, that'd be dope.
We just did that last night. So hopefully we'll be getting that in the works in a couple weeks.
Okay. So you have a book called 21 Keys to Success that just released, right?
Yeah. That's my new book. 21 Keys of Success is a book that we put together. Me and Cody, just basically riding around with me in the car, watching me do business, and Cody was just taking the notes. So we put that together. It's out. We just don't have none right now. We've been selling. Yeah. That's selling better than the old book. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I thought the old book was the best book.
Yeah.
But it's selling now. I'm proud of it, and hope that I can continue to match the type of success that I got on the first one.
Man, that's what's up, man. Like, you have anything new that's coming up, or you working on?
What I'm working on now?
It's still like
fighters. Fighters? I'm doing boxing. Trying to get a fight with Austin Trout and Mikey Garcia. So be on the lookout for that fight. Also, Earl Spence Jr. We would like to get a fight with him as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we're doing right now, where we at. And this is my sweatshirt. You see,
Yeah, I
you
was
see my
just telling you,
sweatshirts
might need to get that sweater
and,
from
and,
you.
and the pants, you know what I'm saying? We got,
Okay.
we got the hook up.
Yeah.
I got the hook up.
I leave you.
I got you. We'll make something happen.
All right, man. So let the people know where to follow you on your social media.
Oh, you can follow me at Freeway Ricky on Facebook. Freeway Ricky Ross on Facebook and Freeway Rick on Instagram. My Twitter got hacked, but I'm gonna get it back up.
Man.
Appreciate y'all.
That's what's up, man. You're now tuned into FreshTalkz. Done deal.
My man, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Good.